everybody. Welcome to SAMA, Seattle Circuit Music and Art. I'm Derek Mazzoni. Thank you so much for being here. We are listening to and celebrating music from all over the world here on SAMA, and specifically looking to and focusing on music of artists who create really powerful, intentional music that creates a almost like a transcendent state, whether it's through vocals or it's through instrumentation. It allows people to connect with artists and connect with their culture and connect with their history. Obviously, we have been following the news coming out of Kabul, coming out of Afghanistan over the last couple of weeks with broken hearts and stress and a sense of apprehension, obviously. I've been playing music from Afghanistan for over half my life on various radio shows, and specifically at KXP on my show Wopop. And as soon as this the pullout happened and all the insanity started, I dedicated my show just last week to music from all over Afghanistan. And that covers everything from up-and-coming hip-hop artists, electronic artists, to traditional artists. And the on the traditional spectrum, I've been playing various artists, such as Muhammad Omar and others, that play an instrument called Rabab, or Rubab, which is kind of a short-necked lute, which is the instrument of Afghanistan. It's incredibly powerful. It has so much emotion, and it was the perfect instrument to kind of present an aspect of Afghanistan that most people wouldn't get as you're hearing news and seeing these videos. The texture, the subtlety, the humanity of what's going on gets lost on people. And there's something about this instrument and players of the instrument that connects people in a way that very few instruments are able to do. So today, I have a phenomenal Rabab player who's joined by a phenomenal tabla player who I've been playing for a while on KXP. I've been playing his record, Mountain Melodies, for a bit, and I want to introduce you right now. We're going to hear some music because I could go on talking. This is Quraishi, and this is and with Mir. Welcome. Thank you for being here. Can you hear me?
Thank you, Derek. Thanks for having us.
It's my pleasure. Thanks for being available and such short notice. Obviously, with what's happening in your home is it takes up a lot of mind space and heart space. So I appreciate you actually taking the time, sharing your music, and sharing a bit of your story. And Quraishi, please tell me a bit like how are you feeling when you're seeing what's happening in at home right now? I'm in Kabul, and I know that you've spent time there. You've been on television there. You've been on these shows. You have a really interesting history there. You came to the States in '83, but it's not like you came and left and it's like, okay, I'm done. I'm here. You have a relationship with Afghanistan and Kabul. You're an artist that's creating music which is resonant with Kabul. Tell me how this has been going for you.
First of all, thank you for your attention and your effort for Afghan music and culture, specifically music and Rabab, at this very crucial time that Afghanistan is going through another unknown time. It could be a dark time for music. I appreciate your attention. When I see the news on TV, one of the things is some of these news are fake, some of them are true. What I say by fake, the speeches of politicians, that they come up, they saying totally something which is not true. For example, Mr. Biden said that he didn't know what's going to happen in Afghanistan, but this was coordinated between Afghanistan and Pakistan and United States and Pakistan. The situation was going on like this for the past a few years, and it just came for the fruition at this time. So it's to it's not being honest with American people that he knew exactly what was going on to create all these. And they would, I'm very sure that they would know this chaotic situation would take place in Kabul. So they know what was going on. They should have been a little bit more prepared, not to embarrass Afghans repeatedly. So this was another embarrassment for Afghan people. You know, when you're in a war situation, uh, it's not only Afghanistan. If you any human being in any country, if they are in such a circumstances, they will be trying to get out of there or do something. But to show that on the TV every day and to show the desperation of Afghan people, it's very embarrassing. It just it's like hurt my feeling, and I hope even now I hope they do something to ease the situation there.
I understand. Thank you for sharing that. As a musician and as somebody who expresses yourself through your instrument, and that instrument is very expressive, I'm eager to hear how you have transmutated these sets of emotions and sharing with us if you can. Can you also introduce me, please? Your friend and tabla player.
Amir, please introduce yourself.
Yeah, my name is Mir Nakibul Islam, and I'm a tabla player, born and raised in Bangladesh, and now live staying and working in New York City.
Okay, thank you.
One of the good thing about New York City is it's a small world. It's like we have everyone from every country, and I'm so glad to be introduced with Mr. Amir that Bangladesh and Afghan music has so much in common, especially the folk music. So this is a new thing that we're working on some projects. I'm very glad that he's also living in New York City.
Perfect. Thank you for being here. Would love to hear some music if you can.
Sure. I'm going to play a short piece. It's my own composition. And then we'll play some other pieces later on.
Okay. Thank you. Perfect. That was beautiful. Thank you, Quraishi. Thank you, Mir, very much.
Thanks.
Tell me a bit about your story with the Rubab, and also what role does that instrument play in Afghan culture and Afghan history?
Yes, I was lucky. We had this instrument. My father, he would play it sometime, but not professionally, just here and there at home. So when I was little, I liked to play it, and I loved the sound. The sound of this instrument.
You too.
And when I came to New York, I wanted to play guitar. I also like guitar. But after a short time, when I was looking at this instrument and how beautiful it was, I got all my attention to this instrument. So for the
Why? What made it?
the important thing was, first of all, once I was away from Afghanistan, this was one of the things that kept my relation and my thoughts with Afghanistan. And this is one of the main instrument of, I would call it the national instrument of Afghanistan.
It is the national instrument, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay.
And yeah, so when I played, it takes me back there. And when I got the attention of non-Afghan listeners for the concert that I gave, he made me to get more into it. So I totally scratched the idea of playing guitar. So now I'm playing the instrument, and it's very important for Afghan culture and music to have this instrument. Unfortunately, not many. It's a hard instrument to play and to learn. We didn't have many Rubab players. Now they're good for the past. One of the good thing about these past 10 years was the development of young Rubab players in Afghanistan, especially in Kabul.
Okay.
So they pay more attention, and there are more Rubab players. But I'm worried about what I hear. That trend will come to an end with the new government, and some people, they might even break their instruments. We'll wait and see how it goes. I hope.
In the past, they did. In the past, that was the Taliban only allowed vocal or religious music, and specifically string instruments, and were broken, and artists were tortured. And yes, they're saying something right now, but it's fascinating because, you know, talking to I have Afghanis in my life here, and talking to them, they're in tech or in retail or in government or other things, but to talk to a musician, whereas in the thing that you're doing is the one thing that the new government really doesn't want you to do. You know, it's like,
my hope is that to have some intelligent people and people in to promotion to convince them the music is part of Afghan culture, especially traditional music. So I hope they will not be as strict as they were the last time. So this is my hope, only hope, but we'll wait and see.
So it's been 20 years. Afghanistan in 2001 opened up. Suddenly there was the war, and then the U.S. was there. And I know that a lot of the people I know of Afghanistan went back. It was going back and forth. There was, especially in places like Kabul and Kandahar, there was something going on. What was your relationship like? Because, I mean, this is a strange parallel, but I grew up in Poland, and I couldn't go back to Poland until 1990 when the wall came down. and then I had a different relationship with the country before I could go back there, and then now I go back almost every year. It's a different kind of thing, but for that period of time, it was just I couldn't go back there. It was dangerous. I would have gotten and I would have hadn't gone in the military or something. But I'm super curious. You as an artist playing this instrument, what's your relationship been like with Afghanistan over the last 20 years? And I'm not going to ask you to speak about the future, but it is interesting, as in like what is that? What's going on with you right now? Whereas in like this place that was open is now closed.
Yes, it was a good period at the beginning. Everybody was hopeful. Uh, mm, During this period, this opening period, they invited me to play there, so I went back there for a performance. But when I came back, I was depressed for 1 month when I saw the situation in Kabul, even when this openness and everything. Because I used to the old Afghanistan when life was peaceful and everybody respect each other and everybody had the same voice.
Mm-hmm.
But when I went to Kabul and I saw all these people, when you mention openness, so let's say another word, democracy, and everything was good. But when I went to Kabul, all these powerful people, they had their own army, very chaotic, but this was one of the things everybody was hiding, including the media of Westerns, that this country was not in balance. Everybody has their own army. It was a chaotic situation. And as of my observation, sadly, I had no hope. Everybody was selfish. All these the warlords that they had power, all of a sudden, they got rich. Obviously, the money was coming from United States and Western allies, but they were all corrupt. It was not a good management, and so that was my thing. Even then, I didn't have much hope, sadly. But the only good thing was that there were a music scene. Music was played relatively better than before. That was the only good thing. But everything else, it was kind of sad. And I hope thing will change.
Okay. Well, women could go to school. There was movement there. That was one of the heartbreaking things right now. So this is one of the reasons I wanted to interview today, because as an artist, it's kind of your job to ingest all that, sadly and gratefully, and then put it out. I would love to hear another song. Can you tell us about it?
Okay, with the second piece, nowadays everybody appreciate what we don't have. We had a very popular singer. His name was Ahmad Zahir. Everybody loves his music, and including myself. So lately, here and there, when I give concerts, I play music from all parts of Afghanistan, because they're different, like in the north, south, east, west, and central. And I'm adding this other part to my performances, one piece of Ahmad Zahir.
Okay, perfect. Love to hear
it. Songs in
Thank you. It's beautiful work. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Um, so many questions to ask, but I'll start with the one that's top of mind. Obviously, we're seeing what's happening in Kabul, and we're seeing a lot of people leaving, and we're all immigrants in this group, and we know that immigrants change the nature of a place once they come in, always for the better, literally, always for the better. We're going to get more Afghani people living here, and there's already, in Virginia and New York and California. I would love for you to share something about Afghan culture and cuisine, or anything that people, usually it always starts with food. You're like, wow, I never heard this before. Wow, this is really tasty. What can people learn? What can we possibly know about our neighbors that are coming?
Yes, it will be a variety of things when they come here. First of all, I would expect Afghan communities and Afghan immigrants that they are here already to have to awaken, so be awake and try to help them to get them get adjusted to this culture now. As long as they are within the Afghan community and culture, I am sure that they would be comfortable. It would be a little bit frustrated for them and sad if they're just kept in an isolated place somewhere that they don't have with the Afghan community. So they're already in a state of shock when they're just put in a strange place. It would be more difficult for them. As far as the restaurants, there are not many restaurants in any city, but except where the Afghan population living there, very nice restaurants. So as soon as they come, that's a easy thing. They in a short time they'll find out the good food.
Okay.
So yeah, that's my wish that I will do my part as much as I can. In New York, there's a small community in Westchester, a little bit north of New York City. There are some people, they're doing a wonderful job making them feel like they're home.
Okay.
They invited me once there, I performed for them. And anything as far as I can do within music and any other help, I would be glad to. And usually I'm kind of just into my music and what I do, but this is my duty now.
Yeah.
I'm going to be in contact with some close associates to try to help them to make them feel like they're home.
Okay. Are you teaching?
Yes.
Okay. And you're doing film work?
Sometimes all these things, as you know, for the past 2 years has been kind of non-existing, but the music and my other projects, this was the time that gave me a little room to pursue my other projects, my singing, recording a few songs, and I composed many songs. in Pashto and Farsi languages.
Okay.
So I'm going to be continuing to do that.
So you're working. You're putting stuff out. You're creating.
Yes. Creating, but as far as the film and all these other concerts goes, it's been a little bit slow.
Okay.
But things are moving on.
We're in a pandemic.
Yes, and one other thing I should mention, I'll give you the more details later on. September the 11th and the 12th, I'll be part of American Folk Music Festival in North Carolina.
Okay.
And the other project during this pandemic was one of the Rothko project, the famous painter, which was done by my friend Susan Galbraith, which was filmed at the Phillips collection in Washington, D.C.
Oh.
The thing was, I went there looking at his painting, creating music, and for the first time, we had an opera singer that she would sing with Rabab, which was very interesting and something new. And I created this music just by looking at those paintings, and it will be coming out soon.
Okay, look forward to that. Let's hear some more music. Quraishi, this is great. Thank you.
Okay.
Amir, thank you very much. Thanks for joining. Thanks for accompanying. And I'll look forward to seeing how your career evolves, and especially now as we have such a thing happening in the news and in the world.
Great. This last instrumental piece I will play is like more like a Pashto song from the south, which is very popular. So as I mentioned to you earlier, in my concerts, I give an example from all over Afghanistan. But now, since we don't have much time, we'll end up our performances with this piece.
Okay. And also, I need to stress that Sama's always intended to be a concert series. So I look forward to welcoming both of you to Seattle on stage once we get through all this insanity and have dinner.
That would be great.
Okay.
Thanks again for you and your station to provide this opportunity for us and your attention to the culture, music, and Afghan situation.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. just kind of improvisation. First time that we played this piece, so it was fun.
Awesome, beautiful. Look forward to seeing it live one day.
Great,
Make
great.
that work. We'll let people know about your event on September 11th in North Carolina. Amir, do you have anything going on that we should know?
Yes, I have a few concerts lined up. So September 4th, I'm playing in Long Island, and then September 5th, I have another concert in Long Island. And then 10th and 11th and 12th, I'm going to Vermont to play another like festival there. And and then this time is like becoming a little busier after like a hiatus of 1 year.
Obviously.
So I'm glad like this live music is coming back, and I would like to mention that today it is the first time I met Quraishi. So
Really?
the best way to connect is through music.
I love it. Thank you. Once again, thank you for being part of Sama. Thank you for sharing your story, your immigrant story. Thank you for your story about Afghanistan. Thank you. It's been beautiful. It's just it's exactly what I wanted to happen. It's just somebody who has a relationship at the heart and the soul level with what's going on, being able to share that and present it such beautifully through music, through your instrument. Thank you for being here, and thank you one and all for being part of Sama, Seattle Circuit Music and Art. We will see you soon. Be well and be safe.
Great. Thank you. And thank you, Nakibul Islam. So it's a wonderful presentation. Thank you.